Hey everybody, I'm an alcoholic and my name is Gina. Here's the deal. This is what I tell everybody that, pretty much that wants me to be their sponsor, but I would probably tell anybody, this is my experience, They had a lot of programs before Alcoholics Anonymous, and it seems like they always knew the solution. They never stayed alive. They died out. Why? Back in the 30s, here comes Dr. Silkworth, and remember, it's like during the Depression, and he doesn't want to lose his job, but he's working in Towns Hospital, and he's helping alcoholics and addicts, and he comes up with the problem, and he signs his name anonymously, and like a sandwich, Bill Wilson puts it together. Now they have the problem and they have the solution. And out of the big book, and it comes directly from the Bible, it says any house built on sand will collapse in a storm. So what are we trying to do? We're trying to build our house on cement, so when a storm comes along, it's not going to blow over. And there's a few ways Bill Wilson tries to get to this objective, this archway he's trying to get us to walk through. Free people, free, like mentally. And there's a couple of elements, and the first element would be to build a strong foundation. A house built on sand will collapse, and a house built on cement will not. And then he starts to add other elements, and like fellowship would be one of them. But the way that I realize, and my observation is that meeting makers make meetings. Meeting makers don't always make it. You can go in and make the coffee and throw a buck in the basket or eat the donuts or greet people at the door. It never kept me sober. No human solution, remember? So the other element in pouring this cement would be 12-step. The program of recovery is outlined in the big book by Bill Wilson. And then, he puts in the cornerstone, and that's the stone that supports all the weight. That's all of my trust, hope, and faith on God. He is the principal. We are his agents. He's the proprietor. We're his representatives. How do I best represent God today, And the keystone swings the door to the archway that we're going to walk through free people. And it's super important to get that strong foundation. Now, I can tell you, I've read the book myself many times, numerous times. It wasn't until, I guess I became willing that somebody with more time than me, obviously a teacher, sat down and pointed out every single word in the big book and explained it to me, broke it down to me in modern terms, ways that made sense to me. The book was no longer just words on a page. The book was alive to me. It was about me. They wrote the book about me, which is indescribable. And there was no more human solution. Drugs and alcohol were my solution. The problem is I was full of fear. The book talks about driven by 100 forms of fear. Selfishness and self-centeredness, that is the root of our problems. Lack of power, that was our dilemma. So, my ego didn't need to be squished or smashed. It needed to be annihilated. The world did not revolve around Gina. I'm just a grain of sand on the beach. I'm so insignificant. And everything will bother me. I'm powerless over alcohol, people, places, and things. I don't have the power. But he has power. God has power. And my life can be unmanageable with or without alcohol. Everything bothers me. If you take a shower and leave the shower curtain open and the wet towel in the bathroom on the floor, If you're hungry, if you got homework, I'm disturbed. Like, I don't want to do it. Everything becomes a mountain out of a molehill. So I had to be taught. I used to see the words, if you want what we have and are willing to go to any length to get it, and that's where I stopped. I was willing to go to any length to get it, but I missed something. After that, it says, then you're ready to take certain steps. I spent 35 years using in and out of the fellowship because I honestly didn't think it would work for me. I was really glad it worked for you, but there was no way it was going to work for me, and I never took the steps. Voila. I took the steps in order. Not buffet style. I liked 1, 2, and 3, but I wasn't mad at anybody, so I wasn't going to do 4. Actually, there was things I was going to take to my grave with me, so I could never do step 5. And if I wasn't angry at anybody, that I couldn't do steps 8 and 9 because who was I going to make amends to? 10, I didn't even understand it. 11, I did not know how to pray and meditate. I didn't even have God. But 12 made me feel good, and I thought I was doing that pretty well. But guess what? On the side, I was getting high, and I was thinking nobody knew, but everybody knew. I was the last one that didn't know. That didn't know everybody knew. I was the one in the back, drinking the coffee, spilling it on the floor, nodding out, waking up and saying, oh my God, I'm just tired, and expecting people to believe that I had a hard day and I was tired. They're addicts. They're alcoholics. They've seen it all before. My character defects can run my life. This disease, illness, whatever you want to call it, is patient. More patient than me. And there's no time to play the tape through for an alcoholic like me, the hopeless variety type. I'm caught off guard wondering, how the hell did I do that again? It's a monster. It's insatiable. It's unquenchable. I take one and I can't control the amount. Forget about the obsession. I have a compulsion. My mind wants me dead. I'm not kidding. Dead. So as I become sensitive to the will of God, step 10, promises. The problem no longer exists. For us, for me, it's been removed. I like step 10. I get sensitive to a spot check inventory of my behavior. And I'm not perfect. By any means. I mean, for example, when I yell at my 9-year-old and she yells back at me, it's time for me to take a look at me. Because this little girl is a mini me. And I love her to death. And I love all my kids. They're special. They're unique. So I use today, recovery for me is not static anymore. I'm fine-tuned. God's will is love. Unconditional love. I know when I'm in my will because I'm anxious, I'm stressed out, I'm pissed off, I'm angry, I'm resentful, I'm irritable, restless, and discontent. With or without alcohol. Well, I drink, I'm dead. There's no slow or gradual decline for Gina. I drink, I'm dead. So today I can use the vehicles. My sponsor taught me how to use prayer and meditation. You know, we pray, we're communicating with God, and we meditate, we're in contemplation. It doesn't mean we're always comfortable or going to sleep or looking out at the ocean or listening to good music, trying to go to sleep. I promise you, when I'm uncomfortable, change is happening. I'm not always supposed to be comfortable. My life isn't roses and blue clouds and skies. I can't live life on life's terms because I'm drinking at 7 a.m. I don't want to pay the FPL bill. I hate giving $900 to my landlord. That's life on life's terms. Today, I live life on God's terms. I live life on God's terms. So I'm able to use the vehicles of prayer meditation and live a life of service and sacrifice. You know, I'm not bragging, but let me tell you, I'm confidently saying I'm uniquely qualified to bring another sick and suffering addict, alcoholic, through the process of the 12 steps. And why do I choose to use Alcoholics Anonymous as my vehicle to use the 12 steps of AA? Because there's no human solution. I had to have God. And for me, that was a group of drunks, good orderly direction, and I swear to you, I had the gift of desperation. God is God. There's no other name for him. And he's got the power. And I know I can't give it away, but hopefully if you live and are willing to go to any lengths to get it, then you're ready to take certain steps. And my sponsor told me this: there's interest, there's spiritual interest. So if God tells me to deliver the gift to you, you've got to sign for it. Just like UPS, it's the package. Anyway, I just thought I'd get that off my mind. Well, it was on my mind, and I want to say that I love you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.